Hey everybody, it's Maddie from Mostly Maddie and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, thank you so much for joining us today. My channel is all about journals, planners, stationery, a little bit of books and reading as well, so if that is your vibe, feel free to stick around. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a flip through of all of my August spreads in my journals. I will be walking through my memory keeping journal, which I do in a planner. This is kind of where I keep all of the memories for my family and just kind of our day-to-day life. And I will also be showing you my creative journal, which I don't have up here right now, but just pretend that I'm showing you a creative journal. It's where I do more scrapbook style spreads, a little bit of junk journaling, and kind of just any creative overflow that does not make it into my daily pages. And lastly, I will also be sharing a new journal that I have been playing around with and having so much fun with, and I'm really excited to share this one with you guys too. August was a little bit of a weird month for me mentally. I was just feeling like a little overwhelmed, had a lot going on. We were also moving into school season, so my oldest son is starting kindergarten and my middle child was starting preschool. So on top of being already just mentally in a funk, I also had to like really ramp up for school season and just getting them prepared, reading the hundreds of emails that I've received from both of their schools, and just getting prepared for like a new schedule, new routine, and all of that. So if you're interested in seeing my flip throughs and just hearing me yap while I kind of show you all of my journal spreads, feel free to stick around and watch this video. And I think that's all I have to say. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we will get started. I always like to start with my memory keeping journal, and then I will also show you my creative journal and a few other things that I've been working on and just kind of catch you up on life this past month. If you like this video, please make sure to interact with it in some way, whether liking, commenting, just letting me know that you're enjoying my videos. I would greatly appreciate it. With my cover page, which you would have seen in my flip through of last month, and I like to do these pages with all of my Cocoa Daisy subscription kit. So this was everything for the month of August. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before, but while I do think these are really cute and I like them, I think next year to go back to doing kind of like mood board, vision boards for the month ahead of like things that are coming up in our life or things I'm looking forward to, just so they're kind of more like closely tied to my like personal life versus just kind of being like a more generic cover page. In the month of July, I was working really hard to do more doodling. I'm practicing my cursive handwriting, so a lot of that will be carried over into this month, you will see. And I did scale back on photos quite a bit, mostly because the journal itself is getting really chunky, and so it is just getting harder and harder to write in here. And so I wanted to scale back on pictures, although now I'm probably going to start putting them back into the journal, because like so much of what I love about my memory keeping journal is like seeing photos of my kids and my family and like having our family photos live somewhere other than just on my phone. So I think for me, it's just like, let's find a good balance of photos and doodles and just, trying to find a good balance where I get a little bit of both and where I'm not like going crazy with the photos. Because there are some days where I've had just like huge photo dumps, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's just contributed to the chunkiness of this. We've had a Tony box, which if you don't have kids, this isn't going to make sense to you, but they have these little figures. You put them on top of the box and it plays like songs, stories. And my kids have gone through a bunch of different phases of like really being into it and then not really caring about it. But we have come back around and we are now back into really enjoying it. So I wanted to just document that because it had been a while since they had really spent time listening to stories on there. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this was a crazy story. My babysitter left her wallet in my car and she texted me and I double checked. I'm like, yep, your wallet's there. Why I didn't bring her wallet into my house after I like checked, I don't know what on earth I was thinking. We were out to dinner when she texted me, so I just like ran out to check and then kind of forgot when we got home. And then of course, like getting kids back into the house, I usually always lock my car, okay? I would just like it to be known. I always lock my car. And the one time, and I never leave anything in there valuable anyway, but I always lock it. It's just like, it's like second nature. It's just like a habit. The one time there's something valuable in my car, somebody opened up my car and broke into it and like rifled through my car and stole my babysitter's wallet. I wish I was making this up. I literally thought she was going to think I was like lying and making this up. It was crazy. So anyway, I have a sticker because I had to call the police and they had to come like file a report so that, and then I had to tell the sitter to go to the station, whatever. It's a long story, but someone broke into my car and stole her wallet. But my kids were really excited because the police officer was there and he gave them keychains and stickers. So this was one of the stickers. It was also stationery store day. So I did go to a local stationery shop after the debacle from the morning, and I got a lot of goodies. These were they were doing a giveaway there, and these were the ones that you get to keep. And so I just added them into the journal to make it kind of a fun spread despite having like a hard and weird morning. I love the color palette of this page and these doodles. We had a really nice family day and went to a park, and so we saw a bunch of beautiful flowers. It was a really cool splash pad. So this is one of the like figures, and that, you know, the water like came down from the mushroom. So I wanted to doodle that. Parents actually came to visit, and so I just wrote a little bit about their visit. I actually think I did this while I was at a journal event. So I did all my spreads and I didn't know what else to do. So I ended up just like doing this like doodle background and writing that. But we did do a lemonade stand and it was so much fun. We did it while my parents were here. And so I did a little lemonade stand doodle and then just wrote quickly. My kids had the best time. We like hand squeezed the lemons. They insisted. So it was homemade lemonade and we set up the stand and they almost made $40, which was crazy. One of our neighbors like texted all of her mom friends. And so we had a lot of visitors, which was really nice. My kids were super excited, but now I'm like, they're going to expect that every time they do a lemonade stand now. The bar is set very high for future lemonade stands. Over here, I just did some doodles about things going on. I received a new Paper Republic leather journal, which I was very excited about and super, super honored because Paper Republic reached out to me and offered to send this to me as a gift. And I just thought that was so cool. And so I wanted to document it into my journal. And we were at a playground and my 1-year-old was just obsessed with the spinny wheel thing that like made noise. So I decided to do a doodle of sort of what it looked like. And then we grabbed some free bubbles because they had a big bucket there of toys and bubbles and things. It was to honor a child who had passed from a terminal diagnosis. I read all about it. I kind of wrote about it right here, but I just wanted to like commemorate that because I wanted to remember that child, and we really enjoyed the bubbles that were left, and so I felt like we needed to document it. Oldest started kindergarten, and so we had to do a little bit of back to school shopping to get him some new shoes and just a couple. I wanted him to like pick out a few outfits of his own because I've never really taken him shopping. Like I usually just buy stuff online, so I wanted him to have, you know, the back to school shopping experience. And we had a lunch date afterward, and then he got this Air Jordan sticker because those were the shoes that he picked when we went to the shoe store. This is actually a lot of writing for me for one day. You normally don't see this much writing, but my husband and my middle child went out of town, and so I only had 2 kids, and so I was just writing about all the stuff that we did. I forgot how easy it is to like be out in the world when you have like one less child with you. Like 2 is pretty manageable. 3, it starts to get very challenging. This was super fun. My brother was in town for the Cincinnati Open, which is like a big tennis event, and he bought me a ticket. I don't know anything about tennis, but I had a lot of fun, and they had like a sticker sheet that I bought. So this is actually a sticker from the sticker sheet, and then I did some doodles of a tennis ball, and then I had these little sneaker stickers, which I thought was just very fitting. And then later in the day, we were doing some soccer practice in the backyard. So it was like a very sports heavy day. And so I just wanted kind of like the doodles to represent that. Oh, I went through a major decluttering because, again, like I mentioned, my son started school and there was so much stuff in their drawers that just did not fit them. And I was just like shoving clothes in these drawers and it was becoming very cumbersome. So I did a big declutter and it felt really, really good to get a handle on all of that. every once in a while I like to doodle what I'm currently reading, and this one felt like one I could actually do and have it not look horrific. So I doodled the book that I was reading at the time. I did finish it, and just kind of documenting some things that were going on with my kids. My middle child turned 4, so this is a picture of him on his birthday, and I wrote about what we did, and something that I started doing this year thanks to Amy. I was listening to Amy's Paper People podcast with Journal as Alter, and they were talking about like who I am right now. So I've started doing that not only for me, but for my kids. So I kind of just wrote more about him and who he is right now at the ripe age of 4 years old. And this was a very emotional day. My 6-year-old's first day of kindergarten. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. It was so cute. He wanted to make us dinner, and look at what he put on plates. It is cabbage or tortilla shell, an apple, and like cheese. I thought that was so funny, so I had to take a picture of it. And of course, this is something that is like a perfect example of things that I love capturing in my journal, because like I would have never remembered this, but now I have it forever in here, and I will never forget Henry's girl dinner. It's kind of a like weird month. I don't know. We were like really busy. School started, just getting into new routines and stuff. So I feel like my journal kind of reflects that. Just like nothing really super crazy happening. We did go to Kings Island. This was one of my son's birthday wishes, and he wanted Dad to also come, and so we had to do it over a weekend so that we could all be there. I don't know, I feel like my spreads are like pretty uninspired this month, but I think that's just like I've just been in a weird headspace lately, and I think honestly it just is kind of reflected in my journals. I did a whole other spread on this, but we had a really fun time going to see these trolls at a park nearby. They are by the artist Thomas Dambo, and there are statues all over the United States and in other countries too. And we are really fortunate that there's one pretty close to us, and there's 3 of the trolls at the park that we went to. So I bought some stickers, and this was one of our like admission passes, so I just stuck that in there. And yeah, I don't know, this is like a pretty like boring month, I would say. Just a lot of like at home, you know, just getting into our routine. And then my 4-year-old started preschool, and so I had to document that. And I used these, I got some stickers from Letters to Apollo. Oh my God, wait, how do you say that? And she had like a back to school sticker sheet. And so I used the backpack and the pencil, a picture of him. And then I documented, like wrote down what his favorite part, least favorite part, and something silly that happened. This is a receipt from the library after school. They all, like my 2 oldest, asked to go, and we hadn't been in a while, so I happily obliged, and we picked up some books at the library. And so I've been doing a little bit more hiking now that I only have one kid with me during the day, and I can wear him in a backpack like on my back. So I've been doing a lot more hiking. My butterfly got butchered because I just did not think properly when I was making this. Like I think I started these ones and the butterfly was last, and then I realized I didn't have enough space, so the butterfly got a little butchered. But we saw so much stuff on our hike, and a lot of it was when we were in the meadow portion of the hike, and it was just so beautiful, and I wanted to document that. And here is, I was writing out my planner plans for next year, and this is my tentative plans, and I honestly feel really good going into the new year. I feel like after this year of experimenting, which I feel like I say in every video, I have really honed in and figured out what I like and what's working for me. And so there is one other thing, but these are the things that I have like actually purchased. So these are my planner plans for 2026 as of now. I'm sticking with the Wonderland 222. I'm just sizing down to the A6 so I can have it in my bag. It can be a little more on the go. And frankly, I just didn't need all the space. Like, it was great, and I love the A5 size, but I just feel like maybe I will use it more if it's smaller and it's like in my bag with me. The Rosey Life, which is what I'm currently showing you, I am going to be using another one of her planners for the exact same thing for memory keeping for next year, because I've just been very happy. I was using the Hobonichi Cousin prior to that, and made the change because of I had paper quality issues and I just wanted to try something new. I wasn't married to the cousin, and while I love Hobonichi, I've got the Weeks is really my tried and true of theirs that I love, and I like supporting other businesses when I can too. So, and then of course the Hobonichi Weeks is going to be coming with me into the new year as well. So we traveled over the weekend, and so I just didn't really have much to talk about. I had a really nice day and time to myself on Saturday, so I kind of just wrote about all of the different stops that I took, and I actually messed up. And this is supposed to be on Monday, but I wrote it on Sunday because the long weekend threw me off. So this is actually supposed to be Sunday. And then this is supposed to be Monday, but I just wrote up here, this was Sunday, LOL. So mistakes happen. I'm not gonna lose sleep over that. So, and then we go into September, which I will show you at the end of the month of September. But again, here's my fun cover page that I did with my Cocoa Daisy September kit. And I really loved the theme. It was florals and tea related. So very up my alley, and the color palette is just what I think of when I think of September. So I was very happy to be using all of those stickers for that. Now I can show you some spreads in my creative journal, and I did actually add tabs in here, which I don't know why I never did that before, but I think it's just a cool idea, especially because a lot of these aren't dated, but it's still nice to see how much you do in 1 month. So I don't even know. Yeah, I don't think I've showed anything. So I used to do these last year, fell off of it, and I'm getting back into doing it. At the end of every month, I'm doing the highlights and then all of the media I consumed. And just this is kind of my end of month recap, which I always really like. I am considering putting this spread into the Rosey Life for next year. So something I've been thinking about a lot is I've mentioned I really want that to be memory keeping and for my family, but sometimes I'm am I compartmentalizing too much? These things could go in that journal, and it's not a big deal, because at the end of the day, yes, it's memory keeping and it's for my family. I want them to be able to flip through it, but it's still me. It's still a reflection of me. And I think it's okay to have a little bit of both in the memory keeping, especially because when I think about it, it's are my kids really going to sit down and flip through every single day and you know what I mean? So it's why compartmentalize if I don't have to? I don't know. We'll see. I attempted a doodle a day and it clearly went really well. So there's that. These were a bunch of random stickers from a sticker pack I got, and I think they were ones I just kind of was I probably won't use these in any capacity. And so I made a pile, and then I was I'll just do a sticker dump. And then I just found a marker that kind of matched whatever the sticker was, and I outlined it. And then I just added some stickers for fun, star stickers. And this was the spread I made during a junk journal event. I think I did a couple. I always like to save stuff for when I go to these events, so I can, just work on a spread while I'm there. So I had a few just mailer things. That's from Serica Studio. I had my order from Pip Stickers. Well, I actually think I got this when I went to the stationery shop. And this was from Paper Republic, and a recent purchase from Barnes & Noble. And then this was from Ohio Magazine. So, and I just wanted to document stationery store day, and I didn't really know what else to do. So I just kind of made this little spread. I made this using my new Lian printer, which I have a whole video on, and I will tag it above if you are interested in learning more about that printer. But I made these letter stickers, and then I printed all of these pictures off with that printer, and I'm really enjoying it. And then I used my Pentel, the matte hop markers, and wrote on, so I made these look like Polaroids, and then I just kind of gave each one a little caption. I think this turned out really cute, and I want to do more recapping like this with photos. I think it's just a fun way to reflect on, memories. I started something and then I don't know, I got distracted and then I never went back to it. So So there's that. Oh, and here's the Cincinnati Open spread I did. I printed out a Polaroid. I made like a little scorecard. This was from the bag when I bought the stickers, and I bought a hat too. And then here's a picture of me and my brother. The receipt, I like bought his stuff too because he bought me my ticket. So I was like, this is my way of like repaying you, as I bought him some merch. So that was a really fun day. And this is the junk spread from Noah's birthday, my 4-year-old. And we put his wish list in here, which is all the things he wanted to do. I just taped that in, and one of the things he wanted to do was go to Wendy's because they have these potato head toys. I actually ended up using it as a pocket in here, which I think is really fun. And the birthday cards that our family made for him, are slid in here. So I think that's really special, and I love it. It's like so chaotic and messy. It's just like perfect because it's him in a nutshell. Oh, here's the spread I was talking about with the trolls. So as you can see, there was 3 different ones, and they had stickers inside at the gift shop. And then I used a map to kind of make the background. This background paper actually I used from Collage Soup, which I've been getting really back into. I have a few of her books, and they were in a drawer, so I kind of forgot about them. My friend Melissa has been talking about them, and it reminded me that I had all of them. So I've been having a lot of fun using Collage Soup, and I'm going to actually do another video like just showcasing them because I think they're really fun and like a great creative tool to use. And then I just grabbed some stickers from one of my anthology sticker books, and then, just some goodies from the shop. Oh, this one I loved creating this. This is with Cocoa Daisy's November kit, and this is the creative kit. So I just wanted to do like a really cool visual. I really love how this turned out. I go into my spreads for them with I usually don't really have something in mind. I just like flip through everything and then just start making something, and this is the end result. I don't know. I think it's really fun, and I love the theme. It's like moss and mirth, and I will be sure to add a link for all the Cocoa Daisy stuff too. And I had mentioned I spent a day by myself when I was flipping through my memory keeping journal, and this is all the junk from that day. So menus, business cards, a map, just random, people put their business stuff inside coffee shops and stuff. So I grabbed some of that stuff. And yeah, this is the junk spread I made from that day. Here's another spread, more talking about the self-care that I did on that day. So I just kind of documented a picture I took on my hike, and I went and journaled by Lake Erie, which was so insanely therapeutic. And I actually made this during a junk journal event. It was so cute. One of the girls who have kind of become friends with, she had this paper, and she was like, if you haven't journaled about your weekend, I thought of you. So she came over and brought this to me. I thought that was so sweet. So I included that and just made this fun spread. This was the main spread that I made during the junk journaling event. So I saved some stuff. This is from Collage Soup, and then I saved some junk from my Culture Pop, which I feel like they make it into every single one of my journal spreads because I just love their packaging. I think it's so cute. And I placed my first order with Prince of California, which if you haven't bought anything from Prince of California, I'll also link his stuff because it's all so cute and amazing. I actually have 2 of the star sticker, the washi tapes right here. So fun. Love everything. And this was the mailer that came with my order. And then these are some of the stickers from one of the sticker sheets I bought. And then this was from the washi tape. And I found this on the table. She usually spreads out a bunch of junk. I was wearing a shirt that was this exact color. So I was like, oh my God, this will represent me from the junk journal event. So this was really fun. I actually really, really love how this turned out. This is another spread I did for Cocoa Daisy. I really loved this vellum paper, and I just wanted to kind of make it shine. So this is more of kind of a collage. This was a whole piece of paper, and I just cut out the mushrooms, and then I just did some layering. This is another piece of paper back here, and some stickers, scrapbook paper, and then the leftover vellum I made as a border. And then I added a stamp, and I'm gonna write something here. I'm gonna actually use this for something. I'm just not sure what yet. So I just left it blank for now. We're at the end of the month, and I have been doing my end of month checklists, which have really motivated me to do a better job of getting my life in order, and it's been really enjoyable. And then I've been doing a curriculum, which is basically just like my TBR of books that I want to read. I had these, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw I was like kind of raving about these. I bought these months and months and months ago, and they have just been sitting in my drawer. I have not known what to do with them. And I was like, this is going to be perfect for my curriculums because it's like a little book. So I write the genre or like what it is that I want to learn about, or what it is, like if it's, I'm like trying to catch up on my advanced reader copies, whatever it is, I'll write that on the front, and then I'll write the title of the book on the inside. And it's just like a fun interactive way to have the books that I want to read. And I used all of my stuff from Coco Daisy. Again, I just like, there's so much good stuff in their kits, and I just try to use it all as much as I can. And so I just added some like nice embellishments and stickers and things to make the page pretty, because I'm more motivated to check things off my list if it looks pretty, which I guess I can actually do that right now because I did a bunch of these things. And I might as well just get it checked off while I'm here. Okay, so check these off. I still have a few more things I need to do, but it's a good start. Yeah, I accidentally wrote September. Oops, because September was on my mind. So I just did a darker color to make it go over it. And yeah, here is my highlights from August, the open. We did a lot of hiking. I hit 100K on TikTok. So if you follow me on there, thank you so much. I genuinely cannot believe that many people follow me. It's insane to think about that. And then of course, Hobonichi Day, because it's a day worth celebrating, and all of the media that I consumed for the month. Now, the only other thing I want to show you really quick is, I think I have to move my camera. Hang on. I just wanted to quickly show you this. It's kind of like, here's my thing. So I've been using my creative journal is really what I do, like all creative things that are like overflow that don't make it into my memory keeping. However, I was in a B5, and I love a B5 for junk dumps. It's so fun because you have so much space. You can just like really go crazy. But I like the A5 for basically everything else. So I saw, again, I already talked about Melissa. Her handle, I think, is Real Desert Gypsy. I'll be sure to tag her on here. And she was talking about her junk planner, and she just uses a composition notebook and just decorates it. Like, this is collage soup paper that I already had. So you just glue it over, and then you can like add fun tape. I mean, you don't even have to do that if you don't want to, but it's a composition notebook. She has a whole tutorial on how you can make these, so I'm not going to go into it, but I just was like obsessed when I saw hers. I'm like, this is so fun and cool, and just like, anyway, I was very, very inspired by Melissa. So I have been doing my junk dumps in here. So I have all this space, and I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I needed. It has been so much fun because I need more space for the junk dumps. I don't like being so constrained in the A5. These have just been like, oh my God, they have just been so enjoyable. I've been doing some collaging and just like really having a fun time in here. And I just like cannot thank Melissa enough. Here's her. I bought some of her stickers. So she makes these really cool records. Like, she buys old records and then collages over them. And she sells the records, and then she also takes pictures and then makes them into stickers, which, like, how freaking cool is that? Oh my God, she is so cool. Okay, so I just wanted to shout that out because it has been like my new like favorite thing to do. It's just been so fun. And yeah, this is the last one. I did this one last night, and I've just been like having so much fun in here. So like, Melissa, you're amazing. I just wanted to share that because that's kind of been like my newest addition. So I think that's all I have for today. If you stayed for the whole thing, thank you so much. And like I said, if you could like or comment on this post, that would mean so much to me. And I hopefully will talk to you all again really soon. Bye.